Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Apollo here, and we have another Lord of the Rings themed battle. This, of course, is Third Age Reforged. This is a good old siege between good and evil. Now, this battle is sent in by Sin of the Dark Cloud, so you know it's going to be good. Sin is a longtime Third Age Reforged player and, well, one of the creators of the mod, so he always sends in some very exciting replays. So this was actually a battle part of a role-playing server, so there is a backstory to this battle, but I don't know it. I don't know what's going on here. We can kind of guess and assume. We'll kind of make up our own story, I suppose. But we got the Orcs of GUNDABAD getting attacked by the Free Peoples of Eriador. Now, it's just one army. The Free Peoples are outnumbered, but they are not outmatched. Now, you know, the good guys usually tend to get more quality armies rather than quantity, and of course the baddies usually get quantity. So this is going to be a battle of philosophy, quantity versus quality. Let's find out who's going to win. Alright guys, so here we are on the battlefield. So you can see the Free People's position here, attacking the town. They've got a fairly small army. They have Dunedain Rangers, which are great. Also has these Gatekeepers, which is a crossbow / infantry unit. And there we go. We already have our first couple shots there, not killing any of these Goblin Trackers. And those fiery balls of justice, man, they are pretty intimidating. But yeah, the Goblin Trackers is just like an endless amount. Look at this front line of Goblin Trackers. Anyways, let's look at the player names real quick as the skirmishing phase continues. So we've got the Free Peoples commanded by Goddess Nimhin. I don't know. I've never heard of this goddess. But yeah, Goddess of Nimhin. Okay, and then over on this side we have Sin, and then we have his allies. So it's a 2 versus 1, and it's commanded by Galannordir. I believe that is a Lord of the Rings name, but you know me, if I can't even pronounce English, I'm not going to pronounce a made-up language. Just not going to happen. So yeah, this is where the sally out begins. This is a glorious sally out. The archers are putting down a ton of suppressing fire. So let's actually slow this down a little bit and get a better view, because I do want to look at some of the units for the Orcs of GUNDABAD. They have, like I said, just hundreds and hundreds of goblin archers, and they're gonna sally out a good force of orc marauders, him and his allies. So there they go through the front gate. He's also charging through this gate as well. He has tons of force. Look at this, storming out like a flood, coming out of the gates. The floodgates have opened. We got Snaga Stalkers mixed in with some Rudar Savages. They're charging out as well. So let's do normal speed. Apparently, this is going to be glorious, so I'm pretty excited for this. Let's see how they're going to... Obviously, the best thing they need to do, as the Orcs of GUNDABAD, they need to flank. They've got to surround. If they're going to take this army head on, there is no chance in hell they're going to win this battle. So here comes the Orc Marauders. They're getting dangerously close to the front line. We have a ram. They should probably drop the ram. You're not going to need that yet. They're getting hit with arrows. Here comes a cav charge from the Dunedain bodyguard. Now, is the general in this unit? I'm not too sure, but that's a pretty gutsy move there. Man, I feel like this battle is just like fast forward mode. I don't know. Everybody's just moving so fast. The fiery balls of justice are flying through the air fast. And now we've got some heavy swordsmen going in and just trying to contain the orcs, the orc marauders here from spreading out and surrounding the main army. So that's a very brave stand by this heavy sworded unit. And here comes the rest of the flood, charging in, getting these archers surrounded. Oh, and there goes some walls. Not that it really matters. They need to keep on firing the trebuchet at the invading forces. And here they come, more and more. I don't know if this player just didn't see this coming, but he needs to quickly move his forces over. So let's go ahead and do some slow motion once again. So yeah, he needs to quickly maneuver more of his forces over to the flank. He's got plenty of reserves. And yeah, the balance of power is not looking great, but he's already killed more, like he's killed 4% more than his army. But yeah, I don't know what's taking him so long. I think he's so focused on microing his cav. And look at more and more of these Rudar Savages are pushing forward. So this is a full-on sally out. A good old sally out. But yeah, the front over here is looking okay because he's containing it with the swordsman. Let's go back to normal speed here and continue to watch this. Yeah, the heavy swordsmen are surrounded. I don't expect these guys to last much longer. The rest of the orcs probably are going to go ahead and start pushing forward. He's now still has his swordsman kind of hanging out here. He's sent over a couple swordsmen and some, let's see, what are these guys? The two-handed. He's got some captains over here that have turned around and tried to support the flank of this trebuchet. So it's a pretty nasty brawl over here, and he's just trying to stop the bleeding. He's just trying to hold against this massive flood, and his stone walls have holes everywhere. Water is breaking through, metaphorically speaking. He's doing the best he can to contain this. If we go back over to this side, he's got more infantry fighting over here, and he's even charging in some infantry as well. So this is more of just a brawl of a fight rather than just like an organized fight. But honestly, that's what you want from a sally out. You want to try to catch the enemy by surprise. Instead of the Dark Cloud and his ally, they did exactly that. This is just a mess right now, and the orcs are definitely benefiting from that mess. Oh my god, these guys are getting wrecked. They're getting surrounded. Let me go ahead and zoom in on the mini-map, try to make it a little bit easier to see like the army positions here. More and more heavy spearmen trying to get to this front line, trying to hold back these orcs. This is really cool because you usually don't get to see sally outs that often, but when you do role-playing type battles, you get certain scenarios where you might have the better odds and you can sally out. Now, the allies have lost 50% of their army already. And there's a massive break here from the orcs of GUNDABAD. A massive break. Here comes a push, though, by the captains. These captains are chewing up these orcs. And just like I was saying, guys, this is a battle of philosophy. A battle between quantity versus quality. And so far, it's fairly even. Quality is hanging on, though, by a thread. He's breaking these guys. He's getting a lot of kills, but he's also lost 32% of his quality army. Now we got the rest of the infantry charging in. To be honest, guys, I was a little concerned. I was very concerned about this army. The way the player seemed to be not paying attention, not moving his forces, but he is turning this one around. And what just a clash of brute force. This is what I love. You get ready for a siege, and then you sally out. That's the cool part. Back over on this way, it's looking pretty grim for these spearmen. They are going to need reinforcements. So once again, let's do some slow motion here. We'll do 0.5. They look like, the Free Peoples look like they're somewhat losing over here. And I'm seeing archers. Oh yeah, he's got some elder archers over here kind of firing down, supporting his army, which he definitely needs. What he needs to take out are the Witch Realm Hunter Guard. These guys are devastating. They are so good. And if you can take them out, the rest of the army will be a cakewalk. We also have a general right in the front line supporting his army. Just, fighting and dying with his men. Excellent. Now we got some Rudar Berserkers, and now we've got even more Hammerers, Scourge Raiders charging into the center, going after the heavy spearmen who are really protecting the center of the fight. Now back over here, they are completely victorious. So we'll go back to normal speed. They're completely victorious. We do have some Orc Marauders. I'm pretty sure these guys are just here to keep these guys occupied, so he doesn't send over any reinforcements to the other side. But there he goes. He's holding this flank. The balance of power is still dead even. The percentages are getting closer together. I think now that he sent in the elite raiders and hammerers, they're going to balance out the percentages a little bit better because they are a quality troop. He's holding back with a trebuchet crew, which is unfortunate there. The spears are getting surrounded by these raiders. This is going to be, this point right here, at this point in the battle, is going to be one of the most critical points because the center is being overtaken, and now the battle is turning into different blobs of forces. I don't have a lot of hope here for the gatekeepers. It seems like they are going to lose this one, and they need to quickly send up these reinforcements. He needs to get them over to the other side. I'm not sure why he's being so... There he goes. Well, he's not... Oh, no. I think this could be a costly mistake. He's going to charge goblin trackers. He's also got some of the heavy swordsmen. Is this the same heavy swordsman unit that fought pushing up the ram? If it is, man, they have killed a lot of orcs. And sure enough, they're going to charge and maybe try to cut their way to the town center. I think they're going to try to take the victory by capturing the town center instead of completely destroying the orc army, because on this side, yeah, it's over, guys, for the good guys, for the free peoples of Eriador. It looks like the Orcs of Gundabad are going to be able to take this one, at least on this flank, and I'm kind of surprised this player did not send over the reinforcements. Now he is making a bold push to take the center of the settlement. So the tables, like, if he can get his men to the town center, the tables will turn and the defenders will now become the attackers, which I absolutely love. And that's why I kind of like these role-playing type battles, because you would never see that in an online battle, and I love to see stuff like that. These archers are kind of out in the open, and there we go. He is going to send over some of his reinforcements over to this side. They are getting peppered down by some skirmishing units, but they should mostly be intact. But it's kind of too late. It's kind of too late because most of the gatekeepers have been killed. I wish he sent these units over a little bit sooner, but that's okay. He's getting some reinforcements over here. Victory seems certain. Oh, and there goes the charge, stopping the long train of reinforcements, the long train of infantry. Words are hard. But yeah, this is going to be very, very important of an engagement. There we go. Here comes the elites charging in. And whoever wins this engagement right here, I think is going to win the fight. So if the orcs can take this one. Oh, and there goes the orc general. Look at the guy. He's just stabbing everyone in the back. He's like, and you're dead, and I got you. That's the ideal. It's like, and then the orcs are like, damn you, camping our spawn. Like, what is he doing? He's still there. Is that him? I'm pretty sure that's him. But yeah, that was huge. Taking out the general, that's going to destroy the morale of a already weak morale of orcs. Because, you know, they're orcs. As soon as the battle looks poorly, they're just out of there. But now these berserkers are going to countercharge the flanking captains here. This two-handed sword unit trying to finish off these hammerer guard, which were the bodyguard of the general, which is now gone. So it's going to be important that he takes out these hammer guard, because then he can focus on the rest of the lower end units and should be able to clean them up. But what a fight, guys. I mean, just an absolute slugfest over here between these two forces. Let's see how the battle's going on over here. The Dunedain are still in the fight. The captain's still pushing. They are breaking quite a bit here. Lots and lots of breaking. But there's, oh, I don't know, guys. This could be disaster. This could be disaster for the orcs. If these captains, which is it's a small unit, but they're very good. If they can break through here and get to the town, then the orcs are, well, hold on. We've got another hammer guard here. The balance of power is in favor. Oh, the percentages. Look at the percentages. They have changed completely. Now it's pretty much dead even percentage-wise. And it looks like the Dunedain are now focusing their fire on this big blob of orcs. But these are no mindless orcs, all right? These are pretty high-quality orcs. So that's going to be a problem. And look at this. Look at this. The Witch Realm units crushed these guys. And now it seems like the Free Peoples are hanging on by a thread. I'm not saying it's impossible. Based on the balance of power, it's still very even. But it's looking pretty bad for them. And it's looking, as time goes on, it's becoming more and more difficult for them to come back in this battle. So here's the fight over on this side too. So yeah, it's up to these captains to break through these cheap orcs. But even if they do, we've got the Witch Realm Hammer Guard going after the Dunedain. And once they finish off the Dunedain, they're going to be able to flank around these captains who are just desperately trying, because they know they've got to fight their way through these orcs, not even for victory, but for survival. I mean, I guess they could try to run and go through this gap right here and get out of here, but they're kind of surrounded right now, so they've got to fight their way out of this. They've got to fight. All right, so that looks like that's going to be it for, well, actually, the gatekeepers. Oh, no, these are captains. The captains are still fighting a good fight, but yeah, these guys are pretty good. These captains. They've been, both sides of the battle have been a very important part to this fight. The balance of power is looking really bad. 92% of the Free Peoples have been destroyed. It's looking pretty grim for the Free Peoples. And if we kind of just talk about the battle now and just like, I think that the Free Peoples could have won this one. He seemed like he was a little slow there on microing his units a little bit. But I felt like if he made his decisions a little bit quicker, and he sent an entire force, right, to take this little choke point, and then later decided to retreat his forces over. I think if right away, after he won this side of the battle, and then sent them over to this front, he would have won the fight. He would have surrounded the Orcs of Gundabad and all their units, and just overwhelmed them and broke them. Even though he didn't outnumber them, he would have outmaneuvered them, and I think he would have had enough to beat them. Now, he still would have had to take on these elite KINGSCORGE or Witch Realm forces, and I think that was the general for the Free Peoples. And there we go. The captains are down to 4 men as they fight to the bitter last. And I think over on this side, they're also down to a handful of troops. So yeah, it was still a very close battle. I absolutely love sally out battles. Now, if you look at the beginning of the video, the defending army had the advantage, but I still think if the Free Peoples, if they formed up their defense a little bit better and were able to protect their trebuchet for a little bit longer, they could have gotten some pretty good trebuchet hits and wiped out a ton of orcs that way. I mean, there's nothing better than killing orcs with giant fiery balls of justice. That's usually the best way to go about it, because there's just so many of them. They're in these huge units, so they're pretty easy targets. So I think that's the two critiques I had. Protect the trebuchet, form a defensive shape around the trebuchet, and then at that point where he won on this flank, he should have sent over the reinforcements as soon as possible. But again, really close, and just look at the dead, carpeted dead all over the battlefield. Insane. That's my favorite part of Total War, is just looking at where all the soldiers fought over here. So yeah, pretty brutal end to this Free Peoples of Eriador. Now, I don't know what happened to the player. I don't know if this is the last of his kingdom. It's probably just part of a smaller war. But I would love to just kind of know what's going on with this role-playing server, and just I can give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I bet there's ways I can just get on the server and read up about it. But yeah, that was a great little victory here for the Orcs of Gundabad. And I believe we're pretty much at the end. So we'll go ahead and fast forward to the end results and look at the kills here. But it was a nice aggressive play by the Orcs. And I really think if they didn't sally out, they could have easily have lost that one, because they would have been sitting ducks for that trebuchet. But look at the amount of troops he killed. Even though he has the bitter taste of the bitter taste of defeat, he still got 4,000 kills and captured 1,200. So that's really impressive, considering he was so greatly outnumbered. Again, it's that quality versus quantity. And if he just had 2 more units, the Free Peoples, I think he could have won this one. That's how close it was. But if we look at the kills, again, here's the kills from the Orcs of Gundabad. 236 by, yep, sure enough, the Raiders. Not a surprise there. See, the other army, the most is probably, yep, the Hammer Guard, 151. So yeah, pretty great battle there. That was very epic. I love the battles that are just straight to the point, straight to the action, and a good old brawl. And the attacker quickly became the defender. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, and of course subscribe. I am working on getting more Third Age out there more consistently. We're also in the works of some custom scenarios, so look out for that coming out very soon. But yeah, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.